I'm Dominick Cruz. We got Callum Park here. He's going to be Alex Pereira for me, and I'll be Israel Adesanya. Now, it's tough to be Israel Adesanya. Everybody knows that if you've watched him fight. But what makes it tough to show his moves is he's always in a constant state of flow. So Adesanya is never just in one solid stance at any given time. He's always in a stance and then switching stance and then throwing a combination to land in another stance in order to land another weapon. So Adesanya is a big puzzle to solve. He's always giving you different looks. And when he's in this southpaw stance, he's so good at keeping your hands. And if you try to pressure him up against the wall, he's so good at keeping a hold of your hands, attacking your legs, inside kicks, calf kicks, and then creating an angle and getting outside so you don't trap him up against the fence. That's one thing he does so well. Another thing is when he's in this southpaw stance, he's so good at making you think of different weapons. One, he's got this lead hand and he'll come inside and jab. Two, if you try to come forward on him, he's got a back step right hook. Just like that. When you try to come in, he can back step right hook you. Another weapon is he reach, inside kick. After that, he goes to the body. That sets up, all those set up the high kick later on.
Izzy goes high, already some significant swelling under that right eye of Pereira.
So he's always setting something up. And a combination you'll see out of him. So he'll throw the inside kick, high kick, and then when this foot comes down, he'll switch. So boom, boom, this foot comes down, and he'll throw a jab.
And he goes high. With the jab.
One of the combinations that you can expect to see that's just so tricky that shows an example of how in the moment Adesanya is he'll stay in this southpaw stance, he'll fire this inside kick, and now you're biting. You want to check and you want to reach. And then when you do so, he goes to the body. And then after he goes to the body, he works to the outside, and now he's going to go high to the head. And then after that, he's now going to throw the high kick and follow with the jab. So he'll throw it, throw the jab right afterwards. And it's so tricky because after you throw the high kick, you back up, which now sets up my jab from a conventional stance. So he's throwing weapons from a southpaw stance while attacking the lead hand. He's throwing this, and he's throwing the high kick. And all that is a smoke screen so that when he throws this and it comes back down and you back up off this high kick, he's got his jab. And everything flows together for Adesanya. Now, another weapon that you can expect is when he's in his conventional stance. He really attacked the legs of Pereira in this fight. Anytime Pereira would come pressure, he would grab the hands, chop the calf.
Nice leg kick by Adesanya.
He's always moving. And when the jabs and the rights would come, he'd slip. And then when the hooks come, he'd lean. And when the kicks come, he'd lean. And when the insides come, he was able to check and follow up. His defense is top-notch, best in the division. And the way that he flows his offense from conventional to southpaw stance, to knees, to elbows in the clinch, it's flawless.
You knew the minute this man signed that he was going to be a significant problem. Oh! Massive left for Pereira!
You cannot stand in front of that man.
Can't play with that dude, man.
Now, with Alex Pereira, he's a little bit more of a linear, conventional striking style. He likes to move forward with power striking. Anytime you attack his legs, he's so good at not over-exaggerating his movement. So that's what makes him so durable and tough, is the fact that when he pressures, and he always pressures you up against the fence when he's facing Adesanya. But when he pressures and you decide to kick his legs, he just eats it and then stays right in front of you. So one of the keys for Pereira in this fight, and this worked so well for him in the last fight, was keeping Israel on the fence. Anytime Adesanya wants to be in free space open, he's so hard to hit because Adesanya is extremely quick. So what Pereira did is he turned around and he pressures and he's heading him off. Notice, Adesanya's gonna wanna go left. He's gonna create some space and head him off. What he's not gonna do is follow him. That's what Pereira doesn't do, is follow the opponent. he always heads him off, whichever direction he goes. And he stays right in your face, and he's trying to wear you out by keeping you in a box.
Oh man, the jab is stiff.
That jab's money.
I mean, he hits so hard, you can hear it when he lands.
And one of his best weapons is this jab, left hook. He hurt Adesanya early in that fight. He'll play this lead hand game, and then get right inside of it, and then follow around the outside with the left hook. He's so good. And then just a mean lead left hook, because this hand battle is so much against a southpaw. When you're conventional fighting a southpaw, you can go over the top of this from this hand battle. And that's one of Pereira's best punches, is that left hook. And lastly, whenever Adesanya switches to conventional, this is where you're gonna see one of Pereira's weapons that he threw in the last fight. It's a spinning heel kick. So he'll fake the left hook, and the heel kick comes right around very quickly. So keep a lookout for that as well. Whenever Adesanya is regular, he'll be moving side to side. And Pereira will wait till he moves this way and look for that spin kick and follow up. So keep a lookout for all these weapons from Pereira on the feet, because he hits hard. These are stones in his hands, and this man knows how to find your head.
Look how short that hook is.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Look at how short that left hook is.
That power is beautiful.
This dude is crazy.
Okay, so one of the combinations also that you can expect out of Adesanya, and this is from both sides, but he tended to do it in the southpaw stance, is he'll stay here, he'd play with this lead hand, and then once he gets Pereira biting on this lead hand fight, he'd step in with the jab. Now, generally, when you throw a jab, the key that boxers always tell you is bring the hand back to your face right away, because if you don't, they can hit you with the hook. But Adesanya really steps in and does a different offbeat rhythm on his striking. And he plays this lead hand, and that sets up the jab. Now, when the jab comes, he keeps the hand out because he knows Pereira's gonna step back. And so what he does is when Pereira steps back off the jab, he keeps the hand out and blocks his eyesight to line up the left hand. So he plays the lead hand, he jabs, and then this hand, now he's gonna move his feet forward and block, keep the hand out, and then the left hand, comes right through the top. So one more time, he's playing lead, and you'll see I'm just gonna leave the hand out just a little bit, and that allows me to move my feet closer and make up the distance that Pereira moved back. Here, jab, and then the left hand comes through. And he does it on both stances. He also does it here. He'll play, boom. Now, what's so cool about this fight is it's a different type of matchup, where in the past it's just been pure stand-up and kickboxing. Now we can mix in the grappling and really see where these guys have added their mixed martial arts to their kickboxing. Well, we saw one moment where Pereira landed a good combo, and then he chased Adesanya down with a left kick to the body. Adesanya used his kickboxing fundamentals to mix it into a grappling scenario that was really nice. He catches the kick of Pereira here, right here, and he pulls it by and then goes straight to the body lock. Now what Pereira does is he gets put so deep in the body lock off that nice catch of the kick that he tries to lace this outside leg. And when he laces it, what he really wants to do is pull this leg to the outside of this leg. Right here, that kind of stops my throw. But since he goes to lace, that sets up the throw of Adesanya.
So it is Adesanya who ends up on top now, maybe trying to get to the back of Pereira.
Then, this is where you really see the difference in the grappling. Pereira rolls away, gives his back, and Adesanya just grabs his far wrist, just like this, and then he stays over the top of this ankle. And he just keeps dragging Pereira forward. And every time Pereira gets his head up, he drags him back down and keeps this wrist right here. It's so important. This wrist control of Adesanya kept Pereira down for up to 3 minutes in that third round and won him the round with the grappling control. He just stayed right on top, punch. When Pereira would try to stand up, try to bring this leg up, he would throw a hook in, get on top, try to keep it, and then this knee would come back in and he'd have to stay down again. And then he'd try to get up again, the leg would come up, and you'd see Adesanya come over the top and he'd sit back down. And this position kept happening for about 3 minutes, and it all is because of this hand control of Adesanya. He was winning the hand control battle on both sides. He would grab this hand, and Pereira would not hand fight with him. So that alone is the basics and it shows Adesanya has a little bit more hours in that grappling area. I'm really curious to see, does he add more takedowns? Does he try to out-grapple Pereira? Or does he keep it a full stand-up match?